Okay, fine. So hello everyone and welcome to the last webinar organized by Materahub. So you already know us because we open every webinar of the academy, and we're from Italy and we're based in Matera. Next week we're going to host the beautiful European mentoring event here, and all the activities are ready, and it's going to be very fun, motivating, inspiring, and useful in terms of learning, but also in terms of connecting to people and exchanging knowledge and different perspectives. So, okay, here she is, Giusy. So the webinar of today is called Unlocking European Funding Opportunities for Women Entrepreneurs. And we're going to talk about how to get funds mostly, but also about project management skills. We're going through some of the most useful for you European programs and some case studios. So we're here today with Giusy, our project manager, researcher. She's an expert in tourism. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you also taught project management at university, I think, right? So
yeah, exactly. Thank you, Lisa. Sorry for being late, but I was trying to manage to fix the connection because it was bad. Thank you very much for the presentation. Yes, as you said, I used to be the project coordinator for tourism and culture for the University of Malta, for the Institute for Tourism. And so I suppose that you have presented what we're going to see today. I don't know if you can hear me very well, if you can see me very well, because I'm using two profiles, because with the computer, maybe you cannot hear me very well. Tell me, interrupt me, or whenever you need to ask me something, it's not a problem, okay? So we are going to present something about the importance of project management skills for tourism and for cultural sector. They are very, very important. There are specific programs that are tailored for tourism and culture. That doesn't mean that you cannot apply, I mean, within other sector, but we are going to present 4 of them out of the 15 or 20 programs. Those are the most important programs that, especially considering that you are entrepreneurs, freelance people that are interested maybe to apply for a future program. So just a brief summary. It's important to know what is a project management skill, what is about exactly, because we heard about project management, but sometimes we don't know what is exactly. Just think about that. Project management in itself is a discipline which comes from engineer. Okay, so that means that is implies a very good organization to in your daily life, in your work life, basically. Then we're going to see 4 programs, as I said, and 4 case studies that have been developed by Materahub. And then maybe we can discuss together if you have any questions. So, as I said, project management is a kind of, it's very good to say it's art. Okay, we said that it comes
just
from
to
engineering.
interrupt you. Are we gonna share
Yeah.
are we gonna share?
Sorry. You're right. Yes.
No, sorry, because we
Let
couldn't
me.
see it. So
Oh no, of course.
okay, nice.
Sorry, you're right. Let
Okay,
me
let me
see.
give you the co-host to that.
Condivido schermo.
Okay.
Let me see why I cannot see it here. Condividi. Non so tutte le finestre. Wait, I have so many things open that is showing everything except in that one that I need. Let me close just a second. Condividi schermo.
Funziona?
No. It's strange because it is open. See, I can see open. I mean, but when I go to share, it's not coming out.
But can you click on share screen?
Yeah, I can. But then when you try to share, it's not possible. It doesn't. That window doesn't come out. Let me try again. Okay, just a second.
Yeah.
Yes, here you have. Okay. Okay. Can you see it?
Okay, perfect.
Okay, good. So we were saying
It's a
that
bit big. Ah, okay, perfect now. Okay.
it's fine like that. Can you see properly?
Yes.
Okay. Basically, we just skip one slide, but the important thing is, as I was saying, okay, we said that project management is it comes from as a discipline, comes from engineer, but it's also an art. Okay, I mean that is also a way of thinking, is a way of how to guide a team to achieve specific goals, specific project goals that you establish at the beginning of course of your project. But you have to consider that those goals are limited in some way by predefined constraints such as scope, time, and budget. Okay, so it's different than develop a project in itself, which has limited budget, limited time, and specific scope, than a business as usual, as it's called. For example, let's say a company runs a business of usual. I mean that is its core, its scope is that one. I don't know, to sell services, let's say. The project is different because has a limited time. So it has a start and it has an end. Okay, so that is the main difference. Um, Basically, of course, it implies the essence of the project, as I said, is a temporary and unique initiative that in general is developed to cover a gap. Okay, you identify a gap in the market, in your market, and you say, okay, with that project, I can in some way contribute to reduce that gap. And through that project, I can capitalize. Capitalize means that you can let's say that you have a project after 2 or 3 years, you ended up with some outputs. Those outputs can be the basis for developing a new project based on the outputs to expand the results. Okay, but still it's temporary. It's something that is limited. It starts now. It starts, let's say, in October 2023, and it will be ending in I don't know. Just to give you an example, May 25. Okay. In general, projects are 24 months, 36 months, but there is not a specific rule in that. It depends on the program. You will see when you see an application, when you see a call for proposal for project, there is always specify how long it has to be as a minimum and the maximum. Going back to the definition of project management, so we said that we have a specific constraint. Is kind of it has to imply some skills, so we need to cultivate in some way, especially for those like you wants to develop new project. It implies specific technical skills and management strategy. From my experience, I have to say, myself, I'm not, let's say, I was by coincidence I came to project management by doing, okay, by applying it to project. Then I got my theoretical knowledge. So it was a kind of circle. Feeding the theory was feeding the practice was feeding the theory. It's still going. It's a process that is still going because I start by applying, by seeing uh, how I can in some way write a proposal. At the beginning, of course, was much more difficult to understand, especially the language, because project management has a specific language. And by I learn, and then I learn, but also I went when I passed through the theoretical process of learning, I understood much better. And again, and then it's like a try to imagine that for project management, knowledge is like a spiral. So you start from a point and it goes increasing and increasing and increasing. And then we have also to consider, we will see later, that there are different frameworks, okay? What does it mean? Every 7 years, the European policy in this case changes the objectives, okay? So the programs are developed upon those policies, and maybe a same program can be different time by time. We will see later a kind of table to show you how the different programs change through time. This why I told you this, because of course maybe you learn a program, let's say the Erasmus Plus program, but by time in 15, 20 years, the Erasmus Plus program changed a lot. So you have to keep going and learning, okay? But it's a very, for me at least, that now it's more than 15 years that I'm in project management. It's a very stimulating process. Absolutely, it's very stimulating process. What else? So the impact of the team, of course, imagine that you are working with someone else. In general, in project, you always work with a colleague from the same organization, or uh, with other partners from other countries. It's very stimulating because also you learn new processes, new skills. You know how to face with new challenges as well, because project management is a absolutely is a challenge. Very, but it's a very, as I said, it's a very stimulating challenge. So, mm, let me see. Why is not work? It's not going through. I cannot move the. It got stuck.
It's blocked.
Yes, the block. I cannot move the slide. But neither in my computer.
Con le frecce?
No, no, no. It doesn't go. Doesn't go. Let me see. Sorry. Oh no, yes, it's moving finally. In a very, I mean, in a Flintstone way. So I was saying that it's important. It requires some initial skills for sure, but it also helps you to develop new skills. Okay, so one of them is for sure communication. You have to communicate internally, but you have also to communicate your result externally to the other stakeholders that are involved in your project. And that also, at one point, the project management requires some leadership skills because you are coordinator of a work package, for example, or a specific activity. So you have to guide other people. So you have to train your leadership skill. Same for organization. As I said before, the project management comes from engineer, so it requires quite an organization way to work. Okay, which is sometimes is not, in any case, not easy to apply because there are so many unforeseen activity coming through. But that is also imply the capacity of the project manager and its team to identify the risk from the beginning. Okay, so if you are able to identify those risks, you're also able to and also the measures to tackle those risks. That helps that helps your organization. Negotiation, of course. Imagine that sometime you are involved of course, in a scenario, your own scenario, and you have to deal with the other stakeholders, maybe coming from other countries as well. So, and maybe your cultural value are different than their cultural value. So that requires negotiation. The same for team management and time management. We said team management, you are surrounded by the other people that you are working with, or within the same organization, or within the same partnership, no? So that is also very important. Time management, we saw that is a constraint, no? A project has a scope, a time, and a budget limited. So it's not unlimited. You have to be very good to organize your time. And believe me, it's not easy at all. Risk management, we said before, if you are able to identify the risk since the beginning, or see what are the risks throughout the project, you are also able to find the correct measure to take those risks. Problem solving, that is one of the most important skill that we have to develop as a project manager, because as I said before, a lot of unforeseen um, task or activity comes through. So you have to be very good, smart, and fast to find the solution. Same for my budget management. We can say that we have a budget. We cannot work with an unlimited budget, and we have to keep to pay attention to that budget according to this activity. Okay, because in the same project you will see. I don't know if you are familiar with a project budget. There are specific budget allocated for that activity, so you cannot use the budget for another activity for that activity, unless there is a kind of tolerance. Sometimes it's 10%. It depends on the program. But that is something that I don't want to go through. Is very specific. Of course, motivation, because imagine that you have to work with someone for 2, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is, and you have to be motivated to deliver. Okay, adaptability for sure is like a negotiation. You have to work with a different kind of people, different kind of organization. Imagine that I was working in a public sector before at university. I have to deal with private, and they have two different approaches, completely different approaches. The same for the other side. So when you have to deal with the public or the association, their mentality, their way, their values are completely different. So that is very important. Technical skills. Maybe if you are, in my case, for example, I used to work even now in project related to tourism and culture, because my education, myself, I got a PhD in tourism and culture. So I need those technical skills to write the narrative part of the project. Reporting skills. In a lot of cases, those skills are the project management manager is preferable that he has or she has these skills, but in a lot of cases, especially in big organization, those are run by another person, by another human resource, because if you are good to write and to work on the narrative, maybe you doesn't mean that you need to be very good and very efficient in the reporting. But it's also good at the same time, according to my experience, even if you are a technical person, the researcher part, I mean, is also very good to understand and to interpret the budget. It's very, very important. And my experience in Materahub, I'm also learning that part. For example, at university, there were two different entities tackling the project from the narrative academic point of view and from the financial reporting point of view. Then active listening, of course, we need to be, as I said, we need to work with other people, no, with other human resources, internally and externally. So we have to be proactive to listen the other idea. And we are work under pressure for sure, especially close to the deadline. Research skills, which is very connected to technical skills, as we said before, doesn't mean that you have to have a PhD to work in a tourism project. I'm not saying that, but of course, in some case, it helps a lot. It is also true that on the other case, having a private or entrepreneur mind, it helps a lot, because you see the perspective from the reality, not from the research part, the research side. So it depends really on which project you are developing on. Just to give you an example, we will see later, the Horizon Europe program is more for researchers, okay? But that doesn't mean that an entrepreneur cannot work on it or cannot contribute on it, okay? Then there is COSME, for example, is more for entrepreneurs, more for the competitiveness of the SMEs. So just to understand that there are programs that are more tailored in one sense or the other, but doesn't mean that you cannot work as a entrepreneur in Horizon or as a researcher in Cosme. Okay. Especially if you work with other people that they have those skills. Interpersonal skills is very important to have this kind of empathy for the other. No, it's well connected to adaptability or negotiation. of course, if you know also methodologies about project management, that will help you a lot. But that can be developed through time. So I will recommend that if you are keen to apply for any project, that you're not too scared about those methodology. You will learn by time, by doing more than policy knowledge, because as I said before, the European frameworks are developed according to the European policy. Okay, so if you know the policy, if you know the scenario, the political, geographical, economic, historical scenario, and that can help you a lot to understand if your project is in line with that scenario. Remember that we have to cover a gap of the market, okay? A gap that is, so when we develop a proposal, that is our main objective. There's a gap, but the gap is also in line with the policy. So if you know the policy, the political scenario around you, I mean, a local, national, and European level, that can help you a lot to write the proposal. And then conflict management, there are several conflicts because we are human beings and we are working with a different kind of context, with different cultural values, different people. So, of course, we have to train that skill. Just to summarize, those are the most relevant skills. Of course, there are other, but those are the main one. So, as I said before, we identify 4 main programs. There are much more programs, but those are the most important. More important, I mean, as an entrepreneur. For each program, we are going to give you, I'm going to give you a case study, okay? A Materahub case study. So the first one, I'm going first to the theory and then I go to the practice. The first one is the Erasmus Plus, okay? Of the Beaten Track is an Erasmus Plus project, for example. In that case, the Erasmus Plus was developed, was created, was founded in order to develop initiative for education, training, youth, and sport. And is in line with the European strategies like European Education Area, Digital Education Action Plan, European Youth Strategy, and European Work Plan for Sport. The policies that management that I was telling you before. In order to apply for an Erasmus Plus, it's always better to know those policies, okay? To have an idea at least of what are those policies. The areas of the Erasmus are social inclusion, green and digital transition, also youth participation. It helps for the participation of the young people in democratic processes. And also it tells people with fewer opportunities to have a better, a greater accessibility to those opportunities. Then, of course, it fosters capacity buildings, cooperation, exchanges, networking. So that is the main scope of that program. And of course, also it's important that to say that Erasmus Plus is a program that fosters the sustainable development in higher education partner, and it contributes to the youth strategy's goal. And finally, we have to say that Erasmus Plus, by educating, by providing the access to a greater access to opportunities, of course, in some way improve or support the employment of young people too. Okay, and it promotes adult learning also for to be in line, in line with the changes of the job market. Okay, those are the main. Are the main aspect of the Erasmus Plus program. Just to give you an example, so maybe then you can, because there is not such enough time to go deeply in each project, but I would recommend that you go through. There is this project that is Women In. Elisa, Maya, and I were working that too. That is currently ongoing. It's a very well-connected project of the Beaten Track because it specializes in the promotion of women entrepreneurship. by identifying challenges, gaps, problems, objectives, goals that are important for the development of women entrepreneurships in those countries: Greece, Cyprus, Italy, Spain, Poland, Ireland, and Portugal. Then maybe we can share the slides with you, and you can go to the project website of Women in. The main aspect of that project is of course to promote the women entrepreneurship, to facilitate the digital learning of the women entrepreneurs, and also to create a kind of international network to develop future initiative and to increase the opportunities for women entrepreneurs or for candidates to be women entrepreneurs. There is someone, Eli, who is Marta.
Yeah, just accept her.
Okay.
And also I'm putting the website in the chat.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
we're gonna share the slides anyway. Yeah, thank you.
Exactly, absolutely. And as I said, there are some tools that have been developed. We develop a manual, a digital training manual, a digital training course, a training course for the trainers of the women entrepreneurs is also interesting. And we didn't develop yet, but we are developing also a digital escape room. So those are tools, but also output that are related to the project. The project is going to in some way, the gap that is going to cover is to improve the women entrepreneurship, because it's still behind in some way, as you know, by doing those, by reaching those objectives and by developing those tools and outputs. Okay. So that is the first program. Then going to a second program. The Cosme, nowadays it is not called anymore Cosme, is a single market program. We have the example here, but we go first to the theory and then we go to the project. The Cosme, as I was saying before, aims to enhance the resilience and the promotion of competitiveness among enterprises, especially the small, medium enterprises, to improve their market access, and is related to, especially connected to the competitiveness, is related to the enhancement of the capacity, the sustainability of the SMEs, especially those one related to tourism. And other initiatives that are related to COSME are, for example, the sustainable growth in tourism, empower the SMEs for digital and green transformation within the tourism ecosystem, thanks to the partnership by creating network between tourism organizations, basically. So, of course, the objective are to foster the innovation, sustainability, quality along the tourism value chain, okay? Which seems granted, but is not, unfortunately. We have to work a lot in tourism to be sustainable, believe me, still at 2023. Then European Capital and Green Pioneer of Smart Tourism. There was a call, I think it expired in September, if I'm not wrong, or August. And some cities, they apply to get this kind of award, you know, like you are more familiar with European Capital of Culture, for example. That is an award, and to apply for that award, you have to pass through a selection. You have to consider some indicators, and then there is like a board deciding who is going to get this title. Of course, then to promote that destination by having that award, by having that kind of logo, it becomes like a brand, because you are one of those European cities for the European capital, as a green pioneer of smart tourism. I don't know if you are familiar with those kind of words, but there are several. As I mentioned, European Capital of Culture is one, European Capital and Green Pioneer of Smart Tourism is another one, European Capital of Gastronomy is a new one. So there are quite a lot. Myself personally, I support cities to get those certificates. Then, which allows your destination to be positioned in the market, okay? we know that a lot of destination, if you one day maybe as an entrepreneur, you will support in some way as a consultant a destination, or you are working the destination, you are belonging to that destination, um, you want that destination get that award. Sometimes they ask me this, but okay, I'm an entrepreneur. Why do I need to foster, to support that award? Think about that. If your destination is well developed and there is a lot of network going on, even your activity as an entrepreneur will benefit. Okay. So if you have the opportunity as an entrepreneur to, I don't know, create that network to improve your destination positioning in the market, I will recommend it. Okay. But that is something maybe beyond. Maybe at the beginning you need to train as a project manager before you do that. Last but not least, there is also that program promoting European tourism abroad. So in some way, this line, this trend of the COSME program, try to support the European Commission to enhance the tourism in Europe. Okay, actually, Europe as a tourism destination, as I was saying before. Okay, going back to one example, which was developed within Materahub, was one of the partner, is Traces, which means transformative tourism across European capital of culture. As you know, Matera was one of the European capital of culture for 2019, and that project try to provide a kind of indicators of sustainability in order to defend, in order to avoid mass tourism. Okay, because a lot of time, especially in case of European capital of culture, when is um, let's say one city became European capital of culture, then at one point it has been invaded by tourists. So by creating that, what is mass tourism? That happened in Matera too, unfortunately, but it happened also in Valletta. Myself, I live in Malta, and from until 2012, when it was awarded as European Capital of Culture, Valletta was quite empty. After that, after 2013, when it was elected, although the year of the European Capital of Culture was in 2018, it changed completely. And now we are suffering other problem of mass tourism. So we have to pay attention about that. Traces as a project try to define some indicators of sustainability to avoid that a city, a European capital of culture, face that mass tourism. And it's also based on cooperation between culture and tourism, which is very, very important. Remind that a lot of time it's very difficult to distinguish tourism from culture. Every tourism is related to culture, and culture is related to tourism. Who distinguish? I mean, it's not possible to separate them. Okay, especially when we define cultural tourism, we cannot. It's a kind of reiteration, because all the culture, all tourism are related to culture. But this is something I don't want to go through, because that I open a very big debate. In any case, the core of that project is also trying to try to apply innovation and growth in those cities in the partner countries, which in this case are Germany, Portugal, Netherlands, Italy, Spain, Slovakia, and Belgium, by developing some tools like business strategy manual, a practical guideline, and case studies. Okay. If something is not clear, please stop me, interrupt me. Eli, we have until 5.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
but we can.
Well,
Yeah,
we have to present other two
10
programs.
minutes more.
Okay.
If it's fine for the other, it's okay. Also,
Okay. No, we are in time. We're in time.
Yeah. Okay.
We're in time.
Perfect.
Okay. The third program is Creative Europe. Okay, that is more related to culture. Okay, but as I said, there are a lot of projects that are being developed within one of those trends, culture, media, cross-sectoral, but which are also related to tourism. So the strands are in Creative Europe main three. So culture, basically the idea is to enhance the European artistic and cultural cooperation, strengthen culture and creative sectors from the economic, social and public point of view, and also try to foster innovation and mobility of artistic people, of artists, I mean. And the media is the promotion of competitiveness, scalability, cooperation, innovation, sustainability, and mobility in the European audiovisual sector. And the cross-sectoral, so try to develop the encouragement of the policy cooperation. We said before about the cooperation of policy, how is important, innovation, media literacy, and support all the aspects related to the media, basically, okay? Promoting diverse and independent media. Why is so important? Is important, so the relevance okay, for tourism and culture. Basically, the Creative Europe support the promotion of the European cultural diversity. It boosts competitiveness, like the other program that we said before. It helps also the potential of the audiovisual sector. The scope of that program is trying to promote the contemporary European creative works and heritage, including the architecture, music, literature, performing arts, film, festival, cultural tourism, that is the connection with tourism that I was mentioning before, and also the European Capital of Culture that we mentioned before. Remember that the European Capital of Culture, which acronym is ECOC, is a scheme that supports the regional development of a destination, okay, and surroundings, and it helps also the funding of tourism and cooperation project in the cultural strand. Okay. Consider that in the sectoral action, we also include such aspect of design, fashion sector, and also sustainable cultural tourism. So an example of Creative Europe that has been developed by Materahub is the project Craft Hub, which is a very interesting project to me. And as you can understand, of course, the idea is to promote the craft heritage, to support the crafts communities in those countries, Portugal, Ireland, United Kingdom, Norway, Denmark, Germany, Greece, and Scotland. And the idea is also try to create a kind of digital repository, which is accessible for free, the presentation of the craft practitioner. So we can have like a kind of network, they can develop a new initiative, they can be in the market. That is a very interesting initiative. And also try to develop a gallery of technique and ideas. Okay, as I said, opportunities between them, and also for the connection, for the cross-fertilization with other markets, with other scenarios. Okay, that is the third one. Let's go to the fourth one, which is, I mentioned before, Horizon Europe, which is more related to research. That is one example, but let's go to the theory first. Horizon Europe offers funding and research opportunities that can benefit tourism by promoting, of course, sustainable and inclusive cultural tourism. Also by contributing competitiveness. As you can see, competitiveness is always competitiveness, innovation, growth are aspects that are really common to all the programs. The idea is it focuses on culture and creativity, trying to include to boost inclusive society, research and innovation activity that are in line with European goals. That, of course, the Horizon is well connected also to global challenges. So it goes a little bit beyond, although it's called Horizon Europe, the idea is trying to go beyond those European challenges and, for example, be in line with the Agenda 2030. I don't know if you never heard about them. I'm sure that you heard about these ONU agenda with 17 millennium development goals that are developed at global level, and the Horizon the Horizon Europe is in line with those global challenges. Okay, so the idea, the program try to combine those aspects that we mentioned before: inclusive society, culture, creativity, research, innovation, with those the 17 millennium development goals. An example of Horizon 20, Horizon, before its name was Horizon 2020, still in my mind, Horizon 2010. Nowadays, in the new framework, 21-27, is called Horizon Europe, okay? We said Impact Tour is one of those relevant project that has been developed by Materahub. The idea is the cooperation between culture, tourism, and research by developing, by measuring strategies. So developing, but also measuring, which is very important, no? As we said, is more related to research. So the idea is also to create a set of indicators in order to measure those strategies in order to improve. Okay, and the idea, the tools that are related to that project is the creation of a digital community website, which is called Impact Tool. And there are quite a big set of data that are relevant for sustainability in those sectors, tourism, culture, and research, and also develop a kind of guidelines for those strategies and actions. Okay, and the partners involved are Portugal, Spain, Cyprus, Estonia, Italy, Belgium, France, and Netherlands. As you can see on the left side, the Horizon when Europe, the budget is very high, 95 billion euros. And it's also important to say that while the other the other program require self-financing from the applicant, so let's say 80% of the funds of the project budget is provided by European budget, is given by European budget. The 20% has to be given by the same partner. In this case, Horizon Europe is very competitive because it's fully funded. Okay, that is very important. So if you get an Horizon Europe, you are very, very good as a project manager. Anyway, those are the main program. We just mentioned, because I mentioned before in the next two slides is just I'm going through very, very fast. Those are the framework, the previous framework. Remember that we are currently in the framework of 2021-2027. And also it's very important to say that maybe we will share with Elisa. There's a website that is called Guide for Guide for Tourism Project, that provides you a lot of information, how to apply, what are the current open calls, or how to apply, what are the steps to develop a proposal. The main ones I have, for example, these are the information that we selected from that website. There are quite a lot of pages that they can support you to see how to develop a proposal. For example, the European Tourism Network, the Cultural Action Europe, the European Creative Hubs Network. There are a lot of open calls that are visible in the main social networks. We are bombarded by information. But if you want to have a very good tool, a very good instrument, you go straight and you put in Google Guide for Tourism Project, European Tourism Project. You will find a very good page which synthesize all the main aspects, and even the current open call for tourism business, okay, tourism and cultural business. Maybe then, if I found, I can share. I will find. I will share with you now in the chat. And so
I can do it, but
the-
how do I
you can do it for me?
Sure.
It's
How
called
does it stand for?
guide guide for project tourism project.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, it's an European page. Okay, with a lot of other, but it's very well structured. But I
Thank
don't know
you.
what happened. Okay. The main here we have a mistake. Sorry. The main steps to become a partner. First of all, you have to identify the relevant program. Now we have just identified, as I said, 4 programs. There are many other programs, but those are the most important, the most relevant, let's say, and even the easiest. Between brackets, the easiest because they are not easy, but I mean compared to other programs are easier. And get familiar, of course, with the specific forms, with the documentation, of course, because there are a lot of documents. But then when you get familiar, it's much easier. At the beginning, it sounds a little bit complicated, but then it's quite easier. And then also find partners that, of course, they can collaborate with you. They can, work with you basically in that project. Okay. Uh, Now, here we have also some resources for project preparation. We have in the same link that Elisa has sent to you, you can find resources for project preparation with some support. Support for local businesses, you have the local contact points within the network of Enterprise Europe. Then there are sector group like for tourism and cultural heritage. Then there is also the technical assistance for applicants like European Investment Advisory Hub or the Joint Assistant to Support Project in European Region, which is called JASPERS, and other useful links, okay? Like, for example, the access to finance for your Europe. That is one of them, or the small business portal. You can find a lot of resources to help you. Then we are almost at the end. The guidelines are available here in those links, and you can go through, and I'm sure that it will help you a lot. And okay, I think we are exactly on time for some questions. So I don't know if you want to, who is already has already worked in European funded project or national and local funded project. If you are familiar with that, in some way, okay, in 1 hour is very difficult to present all the project management plethora, all the program, everything, because it's quite complex subjects, quite complex discipline. But do you think that in some way European project can help an entrepreneur to develop his idea, his objective, his goals? That is my first question. I don't know if someone want to reply, want to intervene. Don't be shy, please. How many people we are?
Well,
Eight.
yeah, I think that what is important is that all of the tools that have been developed into other projects, everyone can use it. And I think that is something that I find very nice because often I'm struggling to find knowledges and trainings and guidelines that are in free access. And to me, it's really time saving and also money saving to get access to those projects, even if I'm not a partner or participant, but just a random person who wants to discover more and do self-learning.
Okay. Thank you, Maya. Yes, you're right. Absolutely right. Someone else? I don't know if it was clear. Actually, give me your feedback if it was clear. I know, again, it's complex, but if you feel a little bit more familiar with project management now after this presentation, we can improve.
Come on, don't be shy. We have 8 participants.
I do like at university myself. I call someone. I used to do that. I don't know, for example, Neus, you're with us? What do you think?
Hello.
Hello, Neus. Sorry, I do I do at university. I call the student, okay? So to create a debate,
That's
not
good.
because nothing against you.
So interesting, Giusy. Thank you very much. I've
You're
learned a lot
welcome.
because, I mean, this is my second European project, so it was so interesting. I learned a lot. Yeah, thank you.
Good, good. In any case, as I said, we need the theoretical side, but we need also the practical side, something that one part fits the other. Because I did several courses, but at the end, and it was very, very good. But, and I'm also thinking to get a master in project management, but I don't know yet because I'm very, very busy at the moment. But it's something that you learn by doing every day, every day.
Yes.
Anyone else? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Annie and Maria, I don't know them personally. I don't know if you want to say something, or Mariangela, if you want to say something. Again, it's not something against you, but just to create a debate. I know that is more difficult online than personally. Or maybe you can tell me, maybe this. Go ahead. Someone was speaking.
No, I was just saying that, yeah, this is Mariangela, and I was just saying that
Mariangela.
it's very interesting and, yeah, be super helpful to have more information and to get into the process, and very useful. I didn't know so many programs, and yeah, I'm gonna have more information just because I think it's super useful. Yeah. So thank you for the introduction, and I would like to know
You're
more.
welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. In the link that Lisa sent to you, there is a list like 15, 17, something like that, program that are related to tourism. As I said, I just mentioned 4, which is already enough for 1 hour of a workshop, but there are a lot. There are really a lot. You are, may I ask you, I don't know if you belong to any organization of
I'm a
the
freelance.
contract.
No, actually, I'm a freelance. So yeah.
Okay, you're not familiar yet with the project management. You never been involved in a project.
I've been involved in a project, but in companies or in like some small projects. So I don't know if it's like the same or it's kind of different. I have no idea. So because it's, I mean, I've been in an Erasmus Plus project in the past, but it was completely different.
Okay.
It was like exchanging like experiences abroad and in Italy. So it was completely different. Nothing to compare
Yeah,
with this one.
there are different lines of Erasmus, so
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
course there are different ideas of budgeting. But I mean, I was mentioning just the main values, okay? But
Yeah.
it's a very, very interesting program. We work a lot with Elisa and Maya in Erasmus project.
Nice.
Okay, thank you very much for
Thank you.
for your intervention. Maybe someone can tell me, I don't know, if you have any, can I say, mental limitation in the sense that you are in some way afraid of, because I met a lot of people in my life that when I mention project management, they look at like something so difficult, so complex that they were afraid, or no, they were avoiding the project, okay, even small project, easier project, because they were aware of the bureaucracy that there is, because some parts there is bureaucracy at the same time, but there is someone of you maybe is thinking that project management is too complex, that they want to apply for a project for proposal because it sounds too difficult. I don't know. Maybe someone Annie or Maria can intervene.
Do you have any thoughts on it? Because I have mine, and I remember that before starting, it was very, to me, it wasn't that confusing because I already graduated and studied for 5 years management in general, but people that were studying with me to be European project managers and above all writing proposals writers, they were super confused because when you see it from the outside, it seems very confusing and difficult. And then, as you said before, I think that you need to just start doing, and you learn. It's really like learning by doing. This is the kind of job that you learn by doing, because when you read it and you're like, oh my God, there are so many things to do. And it's also true, but at the same time, you can do them. Like it's not impossible thing, but some people are like, it's impossible. And the approach of many people is not, I think, not the right one sometimes. So you have to get to it with the right approach to writing a project.
Yeah, I totally agree. We know very well working together. Anyway, I don't know if you have any comment or any, as I said, any suggestion for the improvement of the presentation, whatever.
Well, I don't know if someone else was going to speak. No, just to tell you, thank you for all the information. For me, this is a very new field, so I guess that before just making any comment, I think I will check all the information that you shared. But I guess if we do have any questions, we can always contact you or contact.
Of course, it was my at the end. Maybe I'm missing. There was my contact, but I can give you my contact too. It's not a problem. I can share in chat. Let me see.
Yeah, share them in the chat, because I also made the change makers and the speakers of the other webinars, like writing the contacts in the chat, since we're here also. I wouldn't say mainly, but it's one of the main purposes actually to create a network, a community, and to support each other in general as women entrepreneurs. So let's put our contacts, and put in mine too, so that if we want to reach out to the others, we can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I would like to add that for sure, it's a lot of information. And maybe for someone who is a freelancer with a very small business composed of just one person, running a project is not maybe the best option. But being a beneficiary or a participant could be a very nice way to get access to knowledge and opportunities. While for an entrepreneur that already has a big business and to whom it's very difficult to find fundraising, then European funds and European projects can be a way to develop the business while not paying the development just with the company money, but also within the European money, and to create common objectives. So I think not everyone is going to use this webinar and all of this information in the same way, but I think it's also very interesting how everyone is going to get his own way or her own way into all of these European policies and law and funds and yeah.
Okay. I think I don't know if I was thinking to ask Annie if you want to intervene, because everyone has the opportunity to intervene, to say something. Annie, you are with us?
Hi, yeah. Can you hear me?
Annie, hi. Nice to meet you.
Hi. Yeah,
Any
I finished
comment, any
cooking, so
question?
I'm back online now.
Sorry?
Yeah, I just wrote in the chat before that I'm keeping my cam off because I was cooking. And I
Sorry,
finished
didn't see
that
the
now.
stuff. I didn't see.
So I'm back behind the desk. But yeah, thank you for the information. I've never looked into the funding opportunities because I haven't needed it. And I'm currently project managing a local Estonian project to reduce food waste. So it's all very useful, necessary information. And there is a European project somewhere in the future, but I understand that there is someone in Estonia who will help with all the documentation, and we will be communicating with that person. It's also a project for reducing food waste and for giving leftover food to people in need. So I think some of this information will be coming in useful in the coming months. So thank you for sharing.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. And you know the program?
No. I just
no,
know
it's not a
that
problem.
we are going to
Okay,
participate.
no,
I have a
that's a problem.
partner who knows. But no, I don't yet. We are totally
Okay,
focused on the local
good.
project right now, so we'll see.
Good. So, good luck.
We can't hear
Okay,
you.
good luck for
Well.
everything.
Okay,
Any kind
now better.
Sorry?
Now we can hear you.
Okay.
You were a bit stuck, yeah.
Myself?
Yeah, I think so. I
Ah.
mean, I don't know if it was me, but
No.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. I think we can, if there is no other comment, we can close the session. What do you think, Ellie?
yeah. If
Okay.
there are no other comments, okay. If there are other comments, interrupt us. But if there are not, I really like thank you so much, Giusy, for having this
Welcome.
webinar of today, because as you know, I guess, because I wrote it, there was another speaker, but likely we have Giusy in our team. That she's an expert in this, and the presentation was super insightful, and it was really good to you could delve in depth into the topics, even though it needs so much time, but you've been able to address the most important stuff. So that's really nice. I want to inform everyone here that you can rewatch the presentation the webinar anytime on our YouTube channel. You just can open our website, and there's written Academy and webinars. It's really easy, and nothing. I hope to see some of you next week in Matera. I'm very happy about the series of webinars that we had. This was the last one, and follow us in our social media. I'm going to put social media here in the chat, social media links in the chat, so that you can follow us, because next week we're going to put many contents, and we're preparing videos and stuff. So let's keep also in touch personally and on social media of the project. Thank you very much.
Thank
you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Eddie, for organizing it.
Thank you. Bye.
And Maya too for the support, and to everyone. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you. Bye.